Jeez, you look like hell.
Tell me about it. Another long day filled with customers asking me stupid questions. Tell me, why is it my job to tell them what they can't do to keep them from burning their house down? Why can't I just let nature take its course?
Because you're a human being, maybe.
I mean, that's exactly why Apocalypse is my favorite hero. I mean, he's powerful, he's blue, and he's the embodiment of traditional values that are lacking in today's society.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, survival of the fittest.
He's a villain.
No, pretty sure he's not.
He fights the X-Men. They're the heroes. Not Apocalypse.
Yeah, but Hulk and Iron Man fight all the time. I don't see anybody ever throwing around the word villain when they're fighting. Just because you wouldn't make it through the culling doesn't mean you can shit all over his philosophies and call him a villain.
Have you ever read a comic book?
Oh, that's cool. Take cheap shots at the dyslexic guy.
So you're saying you wouldn't make the cut either?
I need to reevaluate some things. Sorry, I'm not good enough. Hi.
Hello.
So we just saw X-Men Apocalypse.
We saw something.
Yes, that's one word for it.
If anything, you could call this the apocalypse of the X-Men franchise. Something I thought I had seen already with X-Men 3.
Yeah,
Or Wolverine Origins.
Apparently it was too much to ask for two really good superhero movies in the same month. So we know next time
And while it's not fair for us to draw comparisons between the two movies, there are going to be certain points here where we have to. So
Yeah.
bear with us
Yeah.
for our spoiler-free review of X-Men Apocalypse.
So, should we start with the good?
The good, what little of it. They did continue the excellent relationship groundwork that they built between Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher, Professor Xavier and Magneto. Well, that relationship has shined through all three movies to two men who have similar goals, but due to the hands fate has dealt them, have gone about it two terribly different ways.
That's pretty much all the good. That being said, that was one of the plots of this movie. There were several more, and that was the main problem. They had too many main plots going on. None of them felt like subplots because they were all given the same amount of time. None of them really developed, and therefore you're left with nothing. Even the main plot, or supposedly main plot of Apocalypse, and trying to do his whole take over the world thing, didn't really feel that much bigger than anything else going on in the movie.
Well, that is correct.
And while our most recent movie we saw, Captain America Civil War, was a 2.5-hour movie that made great use of its time, and it only felt like an hour and a half, and it was amazing, and every character had an important point. They weren't just there for the hell of it. This movie was a 2.5-hour movie that felt much longer.
Yes. There were characters there who didn't need to be there. They just seemed to be thrown in for the sheer cool factor of their character. But because they weren't given any real thing to do or any storyline for themselves, they were just eye candy and not even good at that. Really, it felt like you watched about 2 hours of pilots for different TV shows thrown together and then had a rush tacked on ending.
Yeah. So for a movie to be 2.5 hours long, feeling like 6 hours, and still feeling rushed at the end, that's a pretty big accomplishment, and not one you want to make.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
So, and like Chris said, there were characters there for no reason. It wasn't minor characters. It was really well-known X-Men characters. I'd say probably the characters that lived up to their roles was Jubilee. And she wasn't even a main character.
No, she wasn't. She never is.
There's more bad, don't worry. The acting, I don't really know if we can say the acting was bad.
But the dialogue was terrible.
The dialogue was absolutely atrocious. It was cliche, it was predictable.
You had several times where you just, a character let slip some awful groaner, And that wasn't just like 1 or 2 points in the movie. It was consistent.
Mm-hmm. And Psylocke's costume was terrible. It was very cheap. Like, with the budget they had, it looked like they bought the costume from Party City.
I don't know. You can't really say much about Psylocke's costume because she never has this great costume to begin with. It's pretty much just a onesie.
Right. And it's really hard to fuck that up.
And yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the spoiler-free stuff.
I mean, all in all, for a movie that was coming back from, the edge of being absolutely terrible, for, you to start off with X-Men First Class, which was good,
Mm-hmm.
Days of Future Past, even better,
Yep.
and then to wind up with this, which could have been a absolutely great movie, and just to bomb it so completely really feels heartbreaking.
Yeah, and actually, one more bad thing. The final battle, was... Parts of it were okay. Parts of it were, I would dare say, even good. But the main battle itself, the main villain, very anticlimactic and lackluster at best.
Yes, it was truly, for something that I've been wanting to see since I was 12 years old. Probably even younger than that. I dare say since I was 9.
Since you were in the womb.
Yes, I've wanted to see this battle with Apocalypse since I was in the womb. And for you to botch it so completely terribly,
Like
just
a botch
makes me want to cry. You made me want to cry, Bryan Singer.
So, yeah.
You made me
Overall,
want to cry.
I can't even say go see this movie just because if you've seen the rest of them, you have to see it.
Yeah, go wait for DVD and then watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Or,
Don't even rent the DVD.
I don't know. It's worth $1 at Redbox, I'd say.
I don't support Redbox.
Neither do I, but some people do.
Some people are idiots. You hear that?
Well,
You called them idiots, didn't you?
anyway, that's it for our spoiler-free review. If you want to know a little more in-depth, check out our spoiler-unfree review.
It will be littered with the bodies of those who have displeased us.
I'm going to stop this now.